My name is Loretta Hayes, and I am from Hayes Sewing Machine Company in Wilmington, Delaware. And today we are going to do a fast, fun quilt project for our creative video. The project is done with the Berry Smoothie pattern from Rosa, and it is a postcard pattern. So all of your information for cutting and for piecing, honestly, if it fits on the back of a postcard, how hard can it be? But what I love about this particular quilt is it's a big block quilt. So the blocks are going to end up being about 16 inches. And they, because they're 16 inches, you have 12 of them to make a quilt that is 52 by 64. Now, when you go to cut out, what you're after is you need 12 fat quarters or the equivalent, because this would make an awesome scrap quilt. So, you could take it and do it from scraps. The big thing on fat quarter quilts when you are cutting them out is you just need to know which direction you're going, because your fat quarter is going to be 22 inches going this way and 18 inches going this way. So because we have two different blocks for this quilt and we have 12 fat quarters, you want to divide them into two piles of 6, because you can cut through 6 layers of fabric with your rotary cutter without any problems. And so what you want to do first is you want to get all of the salvage edges together. So you would have 6 layers like this. I rotary cut my salvage edge to clean up the edge there. And the key to it is you want the up and down measurement for the block to be cut this direction. So we're going to trim it, and then we're going to cut all of our rectangles going across the 22 inch. So super, super fast and easy to cut out, because honestly, you're just cutting twice, one for block A and one for block B. All right, so this is block A. Pam's going to pan down for me. So we have 2 very large rectangles and 1 skinny rectangle. When we go to block B, we're going to have 1 large rectangle and 4 skinny rectangles. And so this is super, super fast to piece together. So let's go ahead and piece together block A, and we'll get that pressed and we'll do block B. So we're going to take it, we're going to attach our skinny rectangle to our larger rectangle on the long side. You want to have a 1/4 inch foot on, but pretty much that's it. Nothing special needed for this quilt. And so we're going to sew down, running the edge of our fabric along the edge of the presser foot. Cut our thread. And we're going to attach the next one, and I'm just paying a little bit of attention because you'll notice that this is a large scale print, and I would like the scale print to go the same direction. So we'll go ahead and do that, and we'll do our second one. And because these blocks are so large, if you have large scale prints that maybe you've been holding on to like a fat quarter bundle because you're like, I don't want to chop all of these beautiful fabrics up. Think kind of like the Tula Pinks and the Hay Facets type of fabrics. This quilt would be fabulous for that, because with the large rectangles, it's really going to show off the fabric. All right, ta-da! Block A is completed. You are going to do 6 of those. And then when I pressed, all I did is I pressed towards the darker side. So we'll do that. And block A is complete. All right, so block A goes out of the way. Block B is coming into sewing. And I'm going to stitch my 2 skinny rectangles together first. And seeing as we're going for quick, let's chain piece it. So we'll line up the second one. And I find when I'm doing skinny rectangles or skinny strips, 2.5-inch strips, that kind of thing, I find it helpful to press as I go so that I don't have to press across the entire block. And so we'll take and press this towards the darker fabric, which I'm going to consider the yellow, and we'll press that. I just find I have a little less chance of getting accordion pleats that way because I can take the units separately. All right, so we're going to take it and we're going to join the skinnier rectangles to the larger one. And let's attach our next one. And all you have to be aware of for block B is when you're attaching, you should never be attaching the same fabric. You always want to have that separation. All right. So quick press, and we will have block B done. Dun, dun, dun. We have block B done. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to take and attach the blocks in a row. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my pre-done block in video land. So we have one block B, one block A, one block B. The rows alternate. So this is the last row I'm doing, but you'll have other rows that are going to start with the block A and block B in the middle and the block A. There's only 4 rows, so super simple. All right, so let's go ahead and join these rows together. One on that side. I'm moving so fast, I'm picking the fabric up before the machine picks up the foot. And then we will go and attach the other. Now to help us line up our corners, we want to check out what direction we pressed the last row. So the last row for me was pressed towards the left, which means that this row is going to be pressed towards the right. We want those corners to be kind of interlocking. Okey-doke. So now we're going to take and we're going to attach so you can see how we have block B, and then a block A, and a block B, and a block A. So we're just alternating back and forth. Now the only place that I need to be at all concerned is I want to make sure that I am lining up this connection point. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to line that up. And because I'm that way, I'm going to make it do a little tack.
Fine.
Fine, you that way, huh? All right.
You knew I'm such a rebel.
Well, here's the great thing about this quilt. You've got 4 rows, so you've got really 3 intersections. 3 seams that are putting the 4 rows together. And there's only 2 places that you need to tack. So there are 8 tacks. I had to do that math. Did you hear that pause in my brain? There are 8 tacks in this entire quilt because whoever designed the pattern was really kind. And what you'll see is that the stripes in the blocks do not line up with anything.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Are you sure it's not 6?
3 can. Oh, yes, maybe it is. So even better. You just got. It's nice that you keep me honest here.
I think it's 6. Yeah.
And I always say that I can do math.
You
but
just choose
I choose
not
not to. Obviously, I can't do math. All right, so what I like to do once I've done my tacks is I like to just do a quick double check and make sure that if I have one side that's maybe a little bit bigger, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put that on the bottom side. It really wasn't too much of a difference on any of them. This gray block was maybe a hair bigger, so we'll put that on the bottom. And so what we want to do is we want to take our tack. We want to grab a hold of the tack. I'm going to grab, because it's such a big block, I'm going to grab about halfway. And those feed dogs are going to help feed that bottom layer in and make it match exactly. So we'll come in. See if we can get that seam allowance to lay down. Yeah, terrific. All right, so now we're going to flip over here. All right, stitch right through that tack. The next block was like right on, so I don't really need to do any helping on here. So we're just lining up the edges. All right, so we have that there. And then we'll line up our last block. And once again, really not that many seams on this. The potential for getting off, you know, so long as you're fairly accurate with the cutting, is almost nothing. All right. Now, let me just press this row, and Pam, I'll have you go around the front, and I'll hold it up. Okey-doke. So, 4 rows of 3 blocks each for a total of 12 blocks.
That's really pretty.
And you've got a beautiful quilt that is super interesting. Has a lot of movement to it and will work really well with those large scale prints. I hope you enjoy this, and we'll see you next time.